think about your goodness, I just can't help but move. You got me missing all around. And I don't care who sees, so I'm come on my feet. Get on my favorite shoes. I'm really in the mood. No matter what you're going through, just dance. Yeah, so just leave it all on the floor. Open up a window and let your blessings fall on me. Open up a window and let your blessings fall on me. Open up a window. Ain't nothing wrong with listening to a little music. Ain't never nothing wrong with that. I can't help but move. Pastor Mike Jr. I don't care who sees. This is a leftover playlist from the radio. I'm really in the mood.
It's not really leftover playlist.
No matter what you're going through,
I put them all in rotation.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it.
We don't have on the whole here, right?
Not yet. Let it go. Yeah. Blessings follow me. Let's go, MVP. If you wait on the blessing, the blessings fall. You've been down for too long, so get up. Tell them don't stand too close. Make room.
See, y'all was open up just a little bit. You can hear that music. Hey, what's going to happen? But we can always come on.
Let it fall. Let it fall.
That'll give us right to 6:30. And when we get there, I'm going to do the countdown. Then at the time, yeah, make sure everything's good. And once the countdown comes, we start.
Open up a window.
And that's what it's
Open up a window. Open up a window.
Like I got my whole name. I'm the J.
You got the J.
Just say.
Man,
Somebody may be struggling right now, going through a difficult time. I got a message for you.
And it works out good because his father's upcoming too is supposed to be bad.
Yeah, this makes me feel extremely bad. People just don't like get ready.
I mean, they like music. Yeah. Because everybody's on the street up to 200 people on the Zoom.
On Zoom, we can only see ourselves when we talk. We don't see everybody.
You can.
Might as well smile.
You can if you. I don't know why you think what you did.
I saw everybody when they said something.
But I probably muted, they got off.
Oh, okay.
I found this song and Joyce didn't want to give me no credit for finding it.
What's the name of it?
Sweet Sunny Day.
When I look back over all these years,
You know, she sounded good. God bless it. Sunday morning.
some days I did not know if I would make it.
Couldn't you still do that on Sunday morning from here?
I want to do that. I got my first hire yesterday for my job readiness.
What is that?
Job readiness training through my nonprofit. On Wednesdays from 9 to 1 I'm at the church. Upgrading resumes, filling out resumes.
Online?
No, I'm doing it in person.
Oh, how many people there?
I had 3 come through yesterday. I got one of them a job.
Wow,
Yeah. So it's growing. That was the second week.
that was awesome.
That was the second week, and now I'm getting people saying, I'm gonna come over there. I want to have volunteer and all that. I said, yeah.
What you need?
It's real simple. I just have a laptop and I have a printer. And then, like, if you come over there and say, hey, I'm trying to find a job, first thing I'm going to do is say, let's get a resume for you. Put your profile, and I go through.
What about the other things? You can fill out there, but what about your self-esteem and all that? Who's going to teach that to them so they can say,
Well, it's stages, guys. One thing that affects the job, security these days are missing days. It ain't self-esteem, it's missing days. And like you can live here and work in Sanderson Farm or even on his major plans. Wake up transit. They send a van to your house and pick you up, take you to work, and bring you. When you call back in and get off work, they'll go pick you up for like 5 hours. So it's cheaper to ride the van than it is to drive. Resumes, of course, presentation, the interview. So you get your resume right, then the interview process. And that's where you come in with the hygiene and look like the position you're looking for and all of that. So instead of just passing out food, you're gonna pass out some jobs.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and today I hooked up with I met a guy, and his wife is over some kind of diaper disbursement when they distribute diapers. And I said, y'all need to come over there and do it, because we're right there in the hood. So, look like once a month we go to distributing diapers. Just make it a community hub.
We used to have TSBC, and that's a big thing. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I got all this free time. So I'm that guy you can leave alone with too much free time. And so it's coming together. It's like it starts out as you think it's just something you do, and you end up being visionary. Especially when you can impact lives. I think with church and all of that is who we are. We should impact lives. If they saved or not saved.
It's not good, man, just to go to church and have church. You need to be doing ministry.
Church needs to invest in some stuff too. All right, I'm gonna count it down.
And you think I should be minister?
We can go ahead.
I think that was.
We don't have. Go ahead.
Is that the music you're gonna play?
No, just play the music. I want to make sure we're on. Okay, there we go.
That's the countdown. 28. That's the countdown. 28.
Okay, we're on. Go ahead.
Good evening. Welcome to Let's Talk with Dr. J, empowering a better you. Last week, I want to thank each and every one who chimed in on last week. Well, I found out today that we went viral. We had 1,001 people to chime in on our broadcast, and I want to thank you. I'm excited about that, and I really want to thank you. Last week we were talking about making goals. And because we were at the beginning of the year, and I wanted to say something to you because I got a call from a person. Okay, it was Jay, my son, and he said, "Mama, did you mean for everybody to do the 75 a whole program?" I said, "No, on program." I said, "No." So I want to let you all know is that those were just examples of a program. Not to say that I wanted everybody online to pick up that program, but I do know that it's good. But guess what, y'all? I haven't done mine yet. I told y'all that I was thinking about reading the 10 pages, and I can really do that with no problems. But I didn't even remember that. And I haven't done, but I am going to get started with that. Which brings me to what I'm going to talk about today. And that is one word, procrastination. Now, see, I told you all that I wanted to do the 10 pages daily because it was something that that I could do and it wouldn't take anything out because I like to read. And then I turn around and say, I'm going to do it again. When you look at procrastination, what are you talking about? You're talking about putting things off sometime, but and avoiding difficult tasks and may deliberately look for distractions. Sometimes we have a tendency to say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I got this time. And sometimes people have a tendency to say, will you do this for me? And when you need it, I need it in 2 weeks. And they start doing it the night before they need it. And it's called that it reflects a person's self-control. You don't have any self-control, so you tend to do I'm gonna do it the next time. I'm gonna do it the next time. I've been doing the next time writing my book since 2000. Oh, I've written it, but now I got to write it over in the language of today because it was written in the language of 2000, and now I have to write it in the language of today. And so I am going to work on it, but winging. I want y'all to chime in and talk to me tonight, and let's talk about procrastination. Why do we procrastinate everything? Procrastination involves a degree of self-deception.
Yes.
At some level, procrastinators are aware of their actions and the
Okay,
consequences,
let me plug you in.
but they keep on doing it. Somebody been talk to me?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, this is, tell us who you are.
I'm missionary Foster.
Oh, okay. How Evangelist Foster? Sharon Foster?
Yes,
Oh, okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am doing great. We're talking about procrastination.
Oh Lord.
And I was telling everybody that procrastination is that what we put off what we can do to we put off tomorrow what we can do today. Most of the
That's
time.
true.
What do you think about procrastination?
I think it's a horrible disease.
Oh my God. It's a horrible
It's actually attached to depression. To be honest, it is a form of disease, a form of depression because you overwhelm yourself with a lot of things, or you're overachiever, and sometimes you get to the point where you burn yourself out before you can get started, just about thinking about the things that you signed up to do in your own life, not with other people, but just stuff that you got on your list to do. And then you start procrastinating and say, oh, I got to get this done. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay. Are you a procrastinator?
I am not a procrastinator. I despise procrastination.
Wow.
I like working with people that are procrastinators
Why?
because procrastination, the cure to it is to have somebody to help you motivate yourself.
Okay.
And we were put here to be helpers one to another. So if you have procrastination, I will call you 10 times a day and say, did you get that done yet? Did you get that done yet? But I'll space myself out in doing it. I won't do it all at one time.
Okay. What do you think about a person with that procrastinate? Do you think they hold different values in their life than people who do not?
Do they hold different what?
Values?
Values? No, no. I think a person that has procrastination, they have a lot of value. It's just that they get stuck with a lot of things that's on their plate, and sometimes that is what holds us back from getting done what we want to get done.
Okay. Okay. I was reading and it said that procrastination is a self-defeating behavior pattern, but it can be seen as serving a psychological purpose, especially for people with perfectionist tendencies. What do you think about that? Do you think that procrastination has this a serving for people with perfectionist tendencies?
I think that procrastination is an emotion. It's a problem. It's a regulation problem. People have to regulate their time. They have to regulate their thoughts. Everything has to line up in your mind in order to get your body to start functioning. Everything starts in the brain. If your brain's not agreeing with the rest, if your body's not agreeing with the rest of you, is everything's off balance. Then you have to regulate everything for it to come in line with your what your wishes are to do. for a project or for that day, if it's not nothing but reading the Bible, if it's not nothing but reading a chapter or a scripture, and you say, I'm going to do this tomorrow, I'm going to start fresh tomorrow, and I'm going to start my day with reading the scripture before I go to work or get up and get my day started, for those who are retired. And if you get up the next morning and you've already set your mindset to say, well, I want to do this, but I hope I can do it tomorrow, you've already failed, because you already twisted that back to what you didn't want to do or what you wanted to do, and you changed your mind about it. So when you wake up the next morning, guess what? Your mind's going to be sitting there. You're going to be kind of feeling some kind of way like a depressed person, because there's something that you really want to do deep inside yourself, but you're not motivating yourself because you took the motivation away before you went to bed.
Okay.
Negative thoughts sometimes override your positive, and it causes it to look like procrastination when it's really not. And you can cause yourself to be depressed, even if it's a small depression moment. People suffer with the same things that the world suffer with, but the difference is we can call on the Lord and say, Lord, help me with what I'm going through and deliver me, where the world don't have that.
That's true. But I was wondering, with leaders, what do you see would be a very difficult thing with a leader who is a procrastinator? Let's go back to say what leader something. Okay.
I heard an African proverb today.
What you hear?
Thank you, Dr. Chris Houston. He was talking about leadership, and the African proverbs is that the fish head rottens first before it dies. The head of the fish rottens first
before it dies.
So if you have procrastination in leaders, then it's definitely gonna, because as a pastor, I got some people been with me 20 years, and they act like me, they think like me.
They do.
They have my perception. Mm-hmm. Because if you're around somebody that's always procrastinating, finding the reason why we can't, when you really need the people to step up, they're not going to do it.
Okay, what if it's not procrastination, it's ADHD? Because it can look kind of like that. You can't stay focused on anything. You hopping from one place to the other, doing from one thing to the other. What do you think about that?
Well, ADHD, attention
deficit. Mm-hmm.
That's what I am.
Oh, okay.
But I do a lot.
Okay.
That's why I've taken that's viewed as something mental and sharpen it into something positive. I'm sitting up here thinking right now about the Sunday service. I'm thinking about those diapers that we'll disperse. I'm thinking about the food. I'm thinking about so many different things. And you have to learn how to compartmentalize those things.
But that's not procrastinating.
Yeah, procrastination to me is when you making an excuse
for not doing
it. Your daddy used to say, an excuse is so close to a lie, you can't tell if they first cousin.
First cousin.
A lot of people didn't have, it sound good. Yeah, I'm going to do this until it's time for action.
It is. But there are some people that procrastinate that can't do that, can't think, won't nothing come through until that very last minute, that surge that you get. I work with a person and they would do everything, but at that last minute, it was just like that rush that came by. It made me become the same kind of person, can get it done in the rush. And look like nothing won't come through until the rush. And then the rush comes and, oh my God, get it done. And everything is down. What do you think about those kind of people? Do you think they got ADHD too?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Now, you know what that is? That's a person that operates off of natural adrenaline. And that's how they get their adrenaline going. That's what they function off of. That's the only way they can get it done.
Okay.
I do that myself. I'm in school, and I have an assignment that starts on Monday and is due by Sunday. I will take my time and do that assignment. I'll look at it every day of the week, but I won't start writing until Friday or Saturday. And then Sunday, I'm doing a crunch to try to get it done. But my best writing comes out of me doing it off of adrenaline after I come home from church. And I get the best paper out, and I get an A every time. Now, can I get it done before the end of the week? Of course, I could do that, but my mind won't. My mind won't think that way. I go into writer's block.
Okay. Okay. Now you don't think that's procrastination?
No, no, absolutely not. Because the difference between me procrastinating and me not doing my homework, I'm looking at my homework every day and looking at it. And one thing that I came to realize is that when you do something too fast with certain things, it might not come out right. And it's not so much procrastination because I'll go back and I'll look at my assignment and I would have read it over and over again. And I'll look back at it again. And I'm like, oh, I didn't see that the first time I read it. And I would have got marked down for that. And so I take my time and I make sure that I got everything lined up. And once I got everything lined up, then I take off and I start writing.
Okay. Okay.
And with the pastor saying that his members have the sign of procrastination because they complain, is what you said, Pastor?
I say if a pastor is always procrastinating, making excuses for why he failed or what he is supposed to be leading fails, it bleeds down to the people, and it's where you can't really say nothing to them because you always procrastinating. So it weakens the body. When the head is weak, the body's gonna be weak.
It is. That's
but you know, you also have people in your, not your fellowship or your congregation, but you also have those people that have the appearance of procrastination, but they're the ones who are the blockers in a given assignment. They will go out. They don't want to do it straight out, but without procrastinating. They just don't want to do it. They're negative thinkers. They will get in the ear of the positive thinker and turn their positive thought and their yes into, well, don't do that. Let somebody else do it. You don't have to do that.
Sister Paulson.
And they're
Sister Paulson, I don't really know you, but I want you to pause just for a minute because I pastor a predominantly African American church. We are biracial, so everything y'all got, we got the same thing. We have to deal with that. It's a people thing. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Oh, you know, like you say, you have some people in the body act like they want to do it and really don't. Then they get in the way of progress. Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying there's people that throw a monkey wrench into a plan, so to speak.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got them people too.
Yeah.
We got the same people you
do it, but that's not procrastinating. That's a person just always wants to put it in a negative situation, trying to keep other people from doing things and grow. A strong-minded person that comes get them that they know they want to do in their heart is not going to stop them from doing what they want to do. And a lot of times they'll tell that person that's trying to throw that monkey wrench to throw it in another direction because they're standing 10 toes down on what they want to do and get the job done. And sometimes that person that stands 10 toes down will change the mindset of the person, either silence them altogether that's out there putting those bad seeds out into the ears of other people who want to work and workers.
Exactly.
I understand that too. There are a lot of things that cause procrastination. Can you think of some things that may cause you to procrastinate, can't get it done? I noticed that I wanted to do something and I didn't have the funds to do it. Would you consider that as a part of me procrastinating?
No, I consider that just you didn't have the means to get it done. But at the same time, you could say that it could connect itself to procrastination of not going out there, generating others that you knew that might be able to help you to get the project done. You may have the idea for doing something, but you may need a team to help you to build it up and to get it out there and progress with it.
Okay. First Lady Francis, glad to have you to chime in tonight. We're talking about procrastination and what it does to you. And do we find ourselves procrastinating? I don't know if you believe it or not. Do you think that everybody has a form of procrastinating in some kind of area of their lives? And what does it do to us? That's what we're talking about tonight. You can call in.
You can
and
call
talk.
in.
Call in and talk.
Thank you, Sister Foster. We definitely do appreciate your call.
Yes, sir.
And you be blessed.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Now, I need you to give me that definition of procrastination again, or what it is, because sometimes you have good intentions to do something, and you have every thing gets in the way at the last minute. And so sometimes people are viewed as being a procrastinator because it happened back to back. But that's life. Sometimes you have to understand that things change, the dynamics change, the optics change. And so I had good intentions, but I was unable to do that because of some other things that got, and one act, many consequences type scenarios that come into play there.
Well, procrastination tends to reflect the person's struggles with self-control. Most times people don't have any self-control, are procrastinators. And because the issue, sometimes you can't do it because it's difficult to do. And being that it's difficult for you to do it, you feel
I got
that
everything lined up. Then I take off and I start writing.
You fail while doing it. So it's a lot in procrastination. You put things off sometimes. Procrastinate chronically, avoid difficult tasks, and may deliberately look for distractions to keep them from doing it because it's a difficult task and they can't do it. Lady Francis, are you in? Did you give her the number so she could call in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, call in if you want to talk. We appreciate that.
And we can use her perspective because she's up in the Metroplex.
That's true.
And the Waco girl up there pastoring now.
That's true.
So let's see if there's any difference in that dynamic. Is that happens up there just like it does down here? Let's see if she's gonna call in. She'll call in. But have you ever been in a situation where you had every intent of doing something, but something got in the way?
Yes.
Well, everybody has. But I think that if I tell you I'm gonna mow your grass, and you say, hey, look, I gotta have the grass mowed because it's getting big and I just got to get that done. And I say, okay, I'm gonna do that. And I tell you I'm gonna do it Tuesday. I don't get to do it Tuesday. I don't get to do it Thursday. So you call me back and you say, look, I need it done for the weekend. I got company coming. And then you turn around and I don't do it over the weekend. And I come back, my bad. Well, that was a process of excuses, just downright didn't want to do it. I had no intentions of doing it. And I think a lot of times to appease people will raise their hand and accept an assignment just to appease somebody. And once they appease that person, they're like, as a pastor, somebody say, I said, man, we need somebody to work this ministry. It's a hard ministry. It requires a lot of elbow grease. And in my mind, I'm saying, well, you kind of know who will do that and who won't do it. Because there are some people you can say, we need to do this, they on point. But then when you bring somebody in that normally don't do anything, and you hand that assignment to them, and then they start procrastinating because they just did it so they can be seen.
It can be seen.
But it's time to go. It's time to be seen, but it's also time to go to work.
That is true.
When you go to work and you have not done your due diligence on that assignment that you accepted, you had to do like I did. I just learned this word in 2024. I learned a brand new word.
What was the word?
I learned a brand new word, and I learned how and when to say it. It's one of the easiest words in the vocabulary to spell. No. I don't have to procrastinate.
You can just say no.
Yeah, real soft, like no.
No. How does no come out soft? I don't care how you say no. No is still
situational awareness.
Okay.
Because I want to put some verbiage with that no,
but
I can't.
Okay.
But that's how I feel. And it's good that how we really feel don't run across our foreheads like a teleprompter.
Well, that's true. Is there a difference between procrastination and depression?
Yeah,
I think so too.
yeah.
Because you don't have to be depressed just because you procrastinate.
But you're the doctor.
But they tend to think that you're who is that?
All right. Is this the Dr. Francine Francis? Oh Lord, she laughed. We're in trouble now, y'all. Oh Lord, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm blessed. Thank you. Good evening to
Good
you.
evening. Good evening. Can you shed some light on this word procrastination?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
Can you share some light on procrastination? The word procrastination. Can you? Okay.
Um, I'm gonna try to give it a shot.
Okay.
Listening to everything that I heard previously. Wait just a second, because I'm getting feedback on myself. 1 second. Okay. I'm still here?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking about it, listening to you all from a leadership perspective. And the thing that I thought about was how important it is. People, you were talking about how people have good intentions and they let time get away from them because of procrastination. And then they disappoint the leadership. And how it's the same way in all churches, because in any organization you're a part of has people in it who you can count on them to come up with something creative, and you can count on them to come up with something that'll make the organization proud, and to say, wow, how did you think of that? But from time to time, they let you down because of their procrastination, and then they miss deadlines or they don't get something done. But it's up to leadership to know that you have somebody in your congregation who is like that. They have a gift, but they are a procrastinator. If you if you want to, you can't just push them aside, because what they offer is too good to be pushed aside. And if you yoke them with somebody in the congregation who's a go-getter, who may not have the creativity, but somebody who will be with them and push them and say, you have to do this, and what about that? Oftentimes we think of people like that as being worse. We think of people like that, oh Lord, here they are again. Here it is. You see their number come up on the telephone. Here they are again. But they are the people who get things done and who push the creative, who push the procrastinators to be successful. So they have good intentions. And the caller before was talking about the adrenaline and rush, and how the adrenaline rush helps you to get stuff done. It does. But oftentimes, if you just get what the caller also said was, I study through the week a little bit every day, and then all of a sudden everything comes together. Well, that's not procrastinating.
No, it's not.
No.
Because you are feeding into where you're going. The Bible tells us, meditate on the word day and night. And that's a type of meditation when you are looking at it every day. You're feeding it into your mindset and your system. And then all of a sudden, it all seems, you can read one thing or hear somebody say something, and one thing can make it all fit together for you. So as a person who was once a procrastinator, You can't really get through school being a procrastinator. not
That's
not
true.
not to the level that I had to get through. You can't be a procrastinator. It's a price to pay, and not only a financial price to pay, it's also a price to pay with when you have pride in what you do, because you feel bad when you let people down. You feel bad when you don't succeed. You feel bad when you don't hit your deadline. And none of us wants to feel bad about something we're trying to produce.
That's true.
So,
That's true. You know, you said a whole lot,
Yes, you do.
and it's all positive. One of the challenges in leadership, let's say, I've been a leader in a lot of different areas, but I'm in church. So for 30, I'm going into my 33rd year as a pastor. One of the biggest challenges is to inspire and let people know we're challenging you to do better. We're not trying to break you. No, we're trying to push you to another level of intelligence, another level of self-esteem, an awful lot of things that we're trying to do to help you get where you need to be, but don't necessarily want to go. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that's one of our challenges that we have to face, is the fact that everybody don't want to be successful. Some people just there for the fish and the loaves. But as leaders, we have to be an example. I've always said from day one, when y'all first met me, I was a worker. I worked at that church. I was there for 2 months. They gave me a key to the church because I was always the first one there. I lit the gas for that big old furnace in the wintertime. When something went out, I was a deacon.
Pentecost Cathedral of Faith.
I was a deacon. I hung all them ceiling fans. I crawled through all them attics and did all of that.
I forgot that.
I did.
Yeah.
But that's just who I am. That's what kind of person I am. And sometimes people, they look at some of the things that you're able to do and they become jealous of that, as if what are you trying to do? I'm just trying to be the best me. I'm not going to be hindered or delayed trying to impress you. No, this need to be done. Let's get it done. And that's the attitude I have. And my wife would tell you, hey, he's going to go on and get it done. He ain't waiting on nobody. I recruit help.
If he has to do it by himself.
I recruit help. If they require help, I will recruit help.
Outside or wherever.
Outside. It's like on them food drives and stuff. Hey, I'm not begging nobody. We got enough connections. And the way you build that relationship is that you were there for other people.
That's true.
You know, you just don't wait. I need you to step up. No, you step up with me because I've stepped up for you.
You know, they said that research has found out that people who procrastinate may hold different values than people who do not. And also they had a study that said procrastinators report valuing personal enjoyment more highly than others do, and valuing a strong work ethics. So that has a lot to do with procrastinators having strong work ethics. And sometimes that's the reason why we have people that we work with, we have reports to put in. I know First Lady Francis have had this, reports that are due, and then you say, well, give me 5 more minutes, give me another week, give me another couple of days. Even our children, when they're doing research papers and stuff like that, we give them a time, and then they turn around and tell us, I didn't get that done. I need a couple more days. May I have a couple more days? You know, it's a thing.
Yes, it is. But sometimes that you want to chase, if the person has a habit and they're lackadaisical about being a procrastinator, learn not to be a procrastinator if someone doesn't teach you.
That's true.
And the thing about us as the church, and I know that both of you know this too. A lot of your success in your careers is a reflection of a lot of what you learned in the church.
That's right.
The church gave you a chance. The church is a teacher. When everybody else stops and gives up on you, the church does not stop, and the church does not give up on trying to help people and trying to encourage people and teach them to be the best that they can be. Go ahead.
No, I think I agree with that. We get so much more from church than people that don't go to church ever realize.
Amen.
And we get out of church is faith.
Yes.
And faith is hope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I was at my weakest, most vulnerable moment, you were there. I was the first one at church.
That's true.
I didn't stop that. I say, hey, it ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm gonna believe God that this is gonna work out for me one way or another. And the faith, and then at church you get hope. You understand what that faith is hope. So you don't get that on your job. Get them boxes built. You don't do that. You do. They have so many compliance measures, and they worry if you don't do it, we get somebody else. But the church don't say if you don't do your job, we go get rid of you. Well, I know I don't, because most of the time at church, people get rid of themselves.
That's true.
You don't really have to do nothing. They get rid of
themselves. We'll let them continue going on and on and on and making all those mistakes and never accomplishing anything, but we still be congratulating them
and since you two doctors are here and y'all incorporated church, I can say this, that the church has a brand. That I have a brand. Mr. C's Barbershop had a brand.
Yes.
Whatever I do, I'm gonna brand it. It's gonna be me, because when you get let's say if I go to work for you, get all of me. I'm thinking about how I can make this better. I'm thinking about, that's just me. And that brand is important. So, you can have some businesses that are branded as always, you don't know if they open or close. You can drive all the way across town. I don't go to Kentucky Chicken and Bell Mead no more, because I drove all the way over there twice to get a chicken pot pie. I drove from Hewitt to over there to get a chicken pot pie.
That's a long ways.
And they didn't have them.
Okay.
So if you don't mean business, take your sign down. Quit advertising them. So a lot of times, if you keep making so many excuses of procrastinating, God always has a replacement for everybody. If I die right now, I'll be replaced tomorrow. It's somebody that can fill in that gap. But as people start catapulting some people in life, we're not talking about positions, as they get catapulted in life, people just don't, they don't appreciate, and they have the procrastinators going to say a lot of negative things about that.
They really are.
Just my opinion.
How do we beat procrastination? How would you say we beat procrastination? How do we do it?
You got another doctor on the line. Y'all doctors solve this. I'm sitting on the couch. 2 doctors, a psychiatrist. Hey, look, I'm sitting on the couch. The doctor from Fort Worth says, what? How you beat it?
Well, I think it's a matter of, I just thought about this today. It's more than one way to skin a cat. Remember, y'all know that you're familiar with that little phrase. And different things motivate different people. And nothing motivates like being part of a team. If you can connect with a team of people who have the same goal, it changes everything. And you are likely to find somebody among a team who has an idea for how to get things done that you can grasp and make your own. so that if there's a team of 5 and there are 5 different work ethics and work styles there, then a procrastinator can have 5 or 4 choices of examples to pull from. One of the things that I thought about when you were talking, Pastor, about how we can't throw people away in the church. And even if they're procrastinators and if they let us down, whatever, we can't throw people away because they're not ours. They belong
in the first place. You're right.
In the first place.
Yes.
They belong to the God we serve.
Yes.
And more importantly, I often think about, so have y'all seen the film The Forge?
On Netflix?
On Netflix?
I believe so.
No.
Yeah, well, it's a film that highlights discipleship. Discipleship goes beyond getting people to become Christians. Discipleship is mentoring. This is how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Paul kept saying, "Follow my example," and follow Timothy's example. And he highlighted people who had good examples of what it meant to follow Christ, and said, "Do it this way." And so, when you were talking, I thought about how Paul felt about John Mark. John Mark was the reason Paul and Barnabas broke up.
Yeah,
he didn't want to take John Mark with him anymore because John Mark was not a good representative of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And so he separated because John Mark went on with Barnabas. But watch this, later on, Paul writes, because Barnabas took John Mark and kept him going, kept Mark, kept teaching him, kept mentoring, hung in there with him, got him to be more than what he had started out being. Later on, Paul says, "Send John Mark to me, for he is profitable to me now."
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have to do. We have to find people to yoke with the weak, and help them to become stronger and better at what. And that's definitely in the church, but in any organization, you have to mentor the weak to a point where they can be strong enough to represent the brand. And there is no greater brand for us than that cross.
You're right. I understand that, and that is the true factor. I was thinking about when you said, and when you look on the other side, because I was thinking about procrastination a few months ago well, I said the African American people on one side of the coin because that's where I was, and it was voting time. And then you kept on, boosting them. Go vote, go vote. You weren't saying who to vote for, but go vote. And they kept saying, "I'm gonna do it later. I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna do it that." And then finally, I got to church, and we had the results and everything. And so I said, "Why didn't you go vote?" And they told me, "Oh, it didn't matter no way. What's the point of me voting? It didn't mean anything." So sometimes procrastination, you would take on the responsibility that you don't mean much because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Now you brought up a point about voters. Now I'm old enough. I worked on Jesse Jackson's first campaign. I actually was with the Democratic Party, and I actually did everything, was foot soldier, doing all of that stuff. And they also inspired by Jesse Jackson. And in 2024, in 2025, we shouldn't be trying to convince grown people to vote. Now, I'm gonna give you an example. Now, everybody that run for campaign in Waco, in the black community, they want me on their team. And they asked me to work with them. Well, when we passing out food and all of that, they there for them photo ops. And you notice none of them was there when we passed out food.
That's
November.
true. That's true.
Yeah, they didn't win, so they don't show up. They show up because they want the church. The first thing a young man say, Brother Pastor, I need you to assemble the churches together so this candidate can talk. And I'm like, this candidate, does he go to his church? And I said, told my wife, his pastor ain't even following him. So if his pastor ain't following him,
why should we?
Well, I'm not doing all of this. You know, I've gone to their church, never see him over there. But I just think at this point, trying to convince, begging people to register to vote and vote, if they haven't figured this out, they finna find out now. They'll find out this year how important their votes were.
Well,
because if you're doing everything, at what point do you have to realize that I can impact my community? This is going to impact my life.
No, wait a minute. Dr. Francis said a few minutes ago, she first came in, is that you cannot give up on people, but just because they don't get the job done at that time, but you got to keep on working with them. Is that not what you said? You just don't drop them.
I didn't say I was dropping nobody. I said I'm not being on them voter registration campaigns.
What it sound like to you, Dr. Francis?
I'm like, you 40 years old, you don't know you need to register to vote. I mean, what can I tell you? You might get up there and vote for the wrong person.
Well,
but people promote voter registration because they want you to vote for them.
Yeah.
If they not running, take that same impact to emphasize to people the importance of voting. And then you have a lot of you brought that up. There's a lot of people procrastinate when it's time to vote. Me, I vote the first day. The first day I vote the first or second day of early voting.
I do too.
I vote because if I didn't vote, my dad and them would come from the grave and whoop me.
Mm-hmm. My dad was like that too.
He would do that.
He said, I don't care if they voting for the dogs, the one downtown.
And another reason why I vote, Dr. Francis, you're up there in the Metroplex. You can go up to Plano every once in a while and Google Stimson Drake Park. My family was the first freed slaves in Collin County. And Mo Stimson and Andy Drake. They were the first freed slaves in Plano, which is Collin County. They donated a park for us. And by them being the first freed slaves, they were the first ones to be able to vote, to allow their children to marry. And so that story had been pushed throughout time. Time you turn 18, now you know you can vote now. And they really pushed that. And that goes back to generations and generations. My family legacy, they were the ones that had to throw the rope over the fence to help people out. Mose and Andy Drake. So I'm sitting up here right now, Facebooking live, saying what I want to say. It's like still standing on their shoulders. And so those people went through stuff just to be able to vote. Today, I mean, Jesus said, you gonna always have poor folk, Joyce. Poor folk, procrastinators. Okay, I said, poor folk, a lot of poor folk are procrastinators. I give people jobs and they don't go. Well, I didn't feel good today, but I go next week. People that underachieve, you can put underachievement, procrastination and underachievers are the same thing. They first cousins.
No,
they really are.
I lie. It's first cousin. No, don't take that.
But you put let my dad excuses.
Let my dad have excuses.
Let your dad have excuse.
That's the first cousin.
Procrastination.
Let me be second cousin.
Okay, procrastination and underachievement. They blood brothers.
Okay. Well,
see, you're a real doctor, but I drink Dr. Pepper.
We have an issue and we have a problem it's not just what is it that gets the interest of others. There's so much out there to gain the attention of people until we as the church, we struggle with trying to get people's attention to care about what we care about and what we know is important. We know that the church is ultimately the most important that we should care about. But voting is important in America for us mainly because we have a chance to preserve our culture. And we have to find a way to get our young people interested in our history and in our present and where we're headed. It's important for our young people, for African American young people, to understand that they have a responsibility to get prepared to do something to enhance our culture and to move us along as other cultures move from one generation to the next generation. And that only comes about with, again, the teaching, the mentoring, discipling. We have to keep talking. Those of us who understand how important it is, we teach those our young people that are close to us. Somebody's gonna listen to you. So whoever listens to you, that's who you focus on. You know, they tell you that if you focus on 20% of the people in your organization, if you focus on getting them prepared to do what needs to be done, if you focus on 20%, then it makes all the difference in the world. That 80% can do whatever. That 20% is going to make it happen. And so when we find people with the potential, then we encourage them and keep them going and move them along and take them as far as we can take them. There's nothing more beautiful than for the student to go past the leader.
That
and
is
the
true.
leader can, when the leader can say, "Oh,
look back and
so
say,
proud
"Oh, I'm so proud of you." Yes. Yes.
You know, some people, some leaders worry about playing second fiddle to, or be like Saul with David. Saul got jealous of David because David exceeded him in popularity. But if you have if a mentor has a mentee that goes beyond them, their attitude should be, I am so proud of you and what you have accomplished, and don't stop until you are satisfied and until you have achieved the best you feel like you can achieve. Just encourage them on. And this is what we have to do. And that's why even with people who are running for political offices in the area, we have to keep them encouraged, because it's heartbreaking to lose.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Nobody wants to lose. Yeah.
Nobody wants to lose. And we have to say, you can make it. Find something, you hang in there, try again. And if we discourage them, then we are we're messing up our own opportunity to have leadership from one generation to the next, because we're not going to survive another 50 years. I don't believe you're gonna be here another 50 years.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be here.
If they call me today, I go on up to that upper room and
Me too. All
You
that.
talking about
I
voting.
had on my head that 50 more years.
I say I have a country church in the city because you come the first Sunday, you see a crowd. You come on the second Sunday,
You see another crowd.
so it's like first and third, second and fourth.
Okay.
But then I said, man, if we could just get everybody to come at one time, what could I do? So you know what I did?
What?
I had the secretary make a group with everybody that's still claiming membership. If they haven't been there in a year, put them on this. And I put down there this Sunday at 11 o'clock, we're going to be voting on a pastor. We're going to vote, do a pastoral vote this Sunday.
Did they show up?
I had people ain't seen in church in so long.
How they gonna vote on you? They hadn't been in church.
Wait a minute. One young man, I was like, he came and he said, yeah, they ain't gonna do you no kind of way. I come to vote for you. He came.
Oh,
I'm like, but okay, so if you for me, then you can come next Sunday too, right?
Right.
But it got everybody there. And I think when you have something electrifying or something provocative, that'll get people's attention. Because if they're not motivated, it's like we like eye candy. We like a fish. We like shiny objects.
We do.
We like a personality, a character. If they don't have a character, or if people are not connected, attached to them, and because you take a chance when you vote for anybody.
That's true.
You're taking a chance.
That's true. We are. But what about procrastination in your health?
That's a y'all issue.
That's not a y'all issue, because health includes you do.
That's why I take testosterone replacement therapy shots on Thursdays and a B12 shot on
I think
Thursdays.
that's a
Still
little
go
bit
to
too
the
much
gym.
information. Thank you very much.
No, I mean that's
Well,
men's
that's
health.
true. That's men's health. But I
That's why I'm not overweight.
I experienced somebody procrastinating their health, and as a result, they're not here today. And we have to understand that some of this, you have to look at it for sure and know that you need to do something about it. You can't procrastinate. You see something wrong, and you see it's not the same thing, and you notice that it's still there. There's a bump on me. Well, where did it come from? I don't know. Is it growing? If it's growing, you need to go see about it.
Oh yeah.
What about? So we need to really understand that procrastination can hurt our health. Procrastination can hurt it can hurt our relationships. I was gonna call him, but I decided not to. I was gonna answer the call, but he wasn't. Okay, that's
Sister Heather Carlisle said that was a good approach. I need to do that again. Hey, we voting on the pastor on the fourth Sunday of January. We voting on the pastor.
She said that was definitely a wise. Maybe that's what we need to do to get the church breakthrough. Because some people.
But you know what? Okay, here's an example.
COVID and then come back.
I believe leaders should have a relationship with the people they're leading.
Okay.
That don't mean I got to go over your house. I haven't had dinner at half my members. I don't know where they live. I don't go over to their house to eat and nothing like that. Don't have more. It's not because I can't, not because they have not invited us. Just, a lot of people don't understand this about me. When I go home, I don't even like to leave the house, really. If I don't see nobody, I would have entertained the world all day. So I come home. But what I look at is if you can find a way to inspire. That Sunday show was Inspirational Sunday. Mm-hmm. And so many people told us, man, y'all really did help me. Y'all did. Yeah. My relatives even would listen they had the phone out and they would listen from everywhere. Frances Ward, who follows us on Facebook, she's from the island, across the pond, from London.
Wow.
And she's a regular. When I go on Facebook and do stuff, she's always there. We connected through these social media channels and stuff. So if we put a good enough product out there, if we put that blue magic out there, yeah. They will come. But a lot of times when we start addressing why they procrastinate about coming to church, because when they get to church, they ain't getting nothing. They're not getting anything. We don't even talk about church, talk about other things. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up. Okay, during the pandemic, everybody got on Facebook Live. Y'all know we did Sunday night outside. I said, it's too hot to be outside.
In the daytime.
The daytime. And we did.
And we closed up early. We loved it.
We did.
8 to 10.
We did outside at 7 o'clock. And I loved the echo that the microphones had on the outdoors. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And then when we went back inside, we carried the Facebook, started doing that. And then I'm like, this about 2-3 months done passed and our church still about half empty. And I say, but I'm seeing these people on Facebook. So I say, I'm not doing no more Facebook preaching. So I ran into some of my members at a Waco High football game. And I say, missing y'all at church. Well, we watch you on Facebook. We get in the word. We paying our tithe because everybody give online. We paying our tithe and we giving our word. We get in the word through Facebook. And just right then, my instincts, I instinctively said something that was pretty profound. I say, well, on Facebook, you get in the word. I agree with that. You get in the word. I say, but when you come to church, I can look you in your eye and I can minister to your soul. That's pretty good, ain't it?
That's pretty good.
Say amen.
Yeah, okay, that was
Amen.
really
Okay,
good.
you don't want to give me no props.
I really appreciate that.
Okay, because when we can look,
I was waiting on something else. You had got my whole
well, I
attention.
wanted you to say something. Well, here, I give myself something.
All right.
But by the same token, you had to quit. You had to stop doing the Facebook for some of the people to come back to church.
Because they were procrastinating,
Yeah.
saying that I'm going to go back this time. And when you stay out so long, you just feel comfortable in
It's
doing
the
what
ploy
you're
of the
doing.
devil.
And that is. It is. It really is. And that's when procrastination has successful relationships. And how can it have?
Mhm.
Can procrastination have a successful relationship with a non-procrastinator?
People get into relationships today.
What you think, Doctor?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because the beautiful thing about a relationship can be that one partner what one partner brings to the table complements the other partner because it's something that they lack. And again, I spoke earlier about teamwork. Even in a marriage, it's teamwork.
Yes, it is. 24/7.
24/7. And so when you are a part of a team, then you have somebody to hold you accountable.
Oh, yeah.
And accountability is what can really put a procrastinator on notice. Now you can double down when the person holding you accountable says something to you in order to get you going. You can double down and be negative, or you can get going and do your part in order to keep the goal moving in the direction that both of you have agreed. This is what we want to do. And so the beautiful thing about, and I keep going back to the church, the beautiful thing about what we understand with the church, clearly we should have the same goals with an S in mind when we are trying to do something for God and through the church. And so it should be easier for us to get along and to work towards whatever it is, the goal, whatever the goal is. And so when you have a procrastinator, and again, Pastor Stimson, I'm with you 100%. If you don't do it, I will do it.
Now I'm gonna tell you this.
To do it.
Yo, cause Joyce, Francine, they cousins.
Mm-hmm.
They blood cousins.
Blood cousins.
Yeah.
Okay.
me and my wife, we had very little in common. She grew up in a predominantly female environment.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter didn't even have girl cousins. It was always boys. I come from where the men were dominant, and it was the ratio men to women in our family, you know. And so the way I managed, just to say, life was a little bit different than what she managed. And then so when we got married, her children, they became my children, and they were like, "What? Okay, he's a pastor, a preacher. So what's going to be different? What do we do? What do we call him?" And the first time they saw me in some basketball trunks and a basketball jersey tatted up, they said, "Wait a minute, he's just a normal guy." And I would play in all the basketball leagues, me and Hooks and everybody. We played in every basketball league, you know, and it was pretty good, enjoyed life. And one day my wife put me out to the curb and she said, "See, can we talk?" She said, "Can we talk?" And I said, "Yeah." So she said, "Now let's leave the house. Let's go ride." So we went somewhere and went out to eat, and we were talking. She said, "You cheating us." I say, "Cheating on you?" She said, "No, I didn't say cheating on you. You are cheating us."
Okay.
I say, "How am I cheating y'all?" She say, "You have so much to give. You have so much more than what you
did in that church."
She say, "You built a church that took everything. Now you got help and you do less." She say, you got more to offer." And I this is what I told her, because when you feel like I feel, you know, with all the lumps and wars that I've gone through, now I'm at peace. And she says, "You got more. You have more to offer. I see so much potential in you, but you satisfied." And as I started procrastinating, I was listening, but you know, my ego always played a role, and can't help it, ego. But when she literally ministered to me. She said, "You got you got so much more," and it flipped my life, ministry wise.
Wow.
Because I started, you know, she right. I need to be about my father's business a little bit more than about that jumper. But so I was able to not stop playing basketball or not, but I couldn't play in every league. I started making that more commitment to ministry. And a lot of times we preachers, well, we need a break.
That's right.
Okay, we need a break. You do need a break, but I've never taken breaks. I haven't been anywhere in 2 years.
But you need to.
I haven't spent a night away from Waco in about 2 years.
But you need to take a break.
But it's so much work that.
Yeah, but you're not gonna.
It's so much stuff on. It's so much meat on the bone.
It is
out here,
and it will be there when you take a 2-day, 3-day break.
But see, at my age, here's what I tell people at my age now: everything that I attach to, I have to do it with a sense of urgency.
Why?
I'm 65 years old.
And so what? You got the list.
I got the energy to do it.
Okay. I can.
Well, I got the energy.
Everybody needs to take a break. I really believe that. You need to take a break from what you're doing, because that's when your procrastination and all that comes. You don't even know why you're doing all this stuff.
But see, here's my home is my zen. My home is my zen. I'm happy. I'm happy in my remote. I'm thinking about my remote control. I'm thinking about everything from tuba to AMC.
Why do the men need the remote control sleep? Why?
Why do we need it?
And you sleep.
Because I sure sleep with it on my side.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I control that. I might not control nothing else in that house, but I control that remote. I get the big piece of chicken and I get the remote control. You have a problem with the man ought to be able to control something?
Well, I think if you sleep. What you gonna say, Dr. Francis?
I was gonna say two things because they're both true. One is You do, Pastor Stimson. We are 65. We have to, and whatever, in our 60s, we have to finish strong. We have a commitment in our hearts to do that. So it is so easy for us to just go at it and forget that we have not taken time for ourselves. Now, this is why it's important for you to take time for yourself, because one of the principles of Steve Covey wrote about in his decades ago. It was a bestseller, 7 Habits of Highly Effective
highly
People.
effective people.
And one of the principles was sharpen the saw. You have to take time to sharpen the saw. If you keep chopping, and you never take time to sharpen your hoe, if you saw the wood and never take time to sharpen your saw, eventually it gets more and more difficult, and get the instrument, the tool gets dull, and it becomes more and more difficult for you to do what you're trying to do. And what you will discover when you walk away from it, and you can walk away from it for a couple of weeks. When you take time to walk away from it, you will sharpen the saw, because you have a chance to stimulate new ideas, new processes, go places where people can feed into you. The Bible tells us iron sharpens iron.
Let me give a testimony.
And we're gonna have to go.
The first Sunday in June of this year, I was up, and next thing I know, I was in the back of an ambulance going to
last year,
2024. Last, June 2024, the first Sunday. And I'm like, I didn't know what happened. So when I get, they told me, when I get to the hospital and all of this, they told me that you're dehydrated, which my alter ego, I call him Stupid Stimson. Stupid Stimson think he about 45.
Okay.
And he operate under that pretext.
Okay.
So Stupid Stimson hadn't had nothing to eat, hadn't had no fluids, and get up there trying to preach. And that was one of the days the mic choked me back. And when I got out, they told me my organs had shut down and all of this, and they took 2-3 days for the fire back. But when my wife she had my keys and all of that. But here's what I had to do. I went over to the church, and I said, in the most humble way I can, I told God, I said, God, I've been running at this pace. This is all I know. I don't know how to slow down. I don't know how to, it might sound corny, I don't know how to do that. And I asked God to give me a plan. Give me a plan so I can be around here healthy. Give me a plan on how to departmentalize some of this stuff. And so I do a lot, but I get my rest. So a lot of times people say, I see you doing, my brother be calling me out, you need to slow. I said, dude, I'm having breakfast, wherever I want to have breakfast. I'm not doing it maybe 2 or 3 hours a day or something. I'm not doing some 8 hours.
Well, what he's saying, sometimes you need to change the scenery. You're doing it right here.
Well, he want me to come back up there to Beverly Hills and hang out with him. That's all he wants.
But that's changing the scenery, and it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt, because it's going to change you another kind of way. And you don't even know. Sometimes when people are procrastinating, they procrastinate because the mind said they jumble up inside the mind. They can't settle down. And so you need
Well, you sound like my wife. You need to go. Let's go somewhere. Let me take you somewhere. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah, you really need to.
So I promise to those of you out there in Facebook land, I will go somewhere this year.
Fantastic. I decided.
Might be I'm going over yonder.
Oh, don't say that one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're so happy to have you to chime in with us tonight. Anthony Powell, Prophet Anthony Powell. Nice to have you online. Heather, nice to have you. Sister Heather, Carolina. have you on the line. Pastor Butler. Thank you for being online tonight. And also, Sister Valerie Perkins said that Dr. Francis, that movie that you were talking about is on Netflix. So I'm gonna go tonight and kind of cook it up and see. I think I've seen it.
Dr. Prince, and you never believe who told me to watch that. Big Kevin Carter. Big Kevin said, "Hey, look, watch this movie." I started watching it, but I like certain type of entertainment. I like to see the monster eat the people. I like to see the building blow up.
That is
the
horrible.
plane crash. I mean, it's
It sounds
entertainment.
like my sister Kate. She be laughing, and I'm here screeching and crying on the people, and she's sitting up laughing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not out of word, but we're out of time. And so we'll see you again. Thank you, Dr. Francis, for hooking in there with us tonight, and Evangelist Sharon Foster for coming in and talking with us tonight. And next week we'll see you the same time. We're going to talk about a word next week. You might want to just get ready for it. And that word is rage. We're going to talk about rage, silent rage, as well as the rage, verbal rage, all kinds of different kinds of rage. And it's going to be an exciting conversation. So why don't you tune in next week and talk with us about rage. All right. Until next week, remember, all you need is one yes.
But you go pray for them before you let them out of here.
This was not a church.
We always pray for them.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, we want to thank you for this conversation that we've had tonight. And God, we want to ask you to, what has been said, let it be something for someone who was looking for something, looking for answers. God, let it be the answers for them. In the name of Jesus. God, clear their minds so they can understand what we're saying. These and other blessings we ask in your son's name. Amen. Amen.